What's up, guys? Wex Airsoft here today, and I'm doing a request video. I know I don't do these that often. Um, I've just been busy. I know a lot of you guys are friends with me on Facebook, and so you can kind of attest to that. You know, I got stuff going on in life, and then, of course, those of you who aren't friends with me on Facebook, well, then most of you have liked my page, and you see, I fluctuate from posting a lot of content, frequently to then sometimes not posting so much. So you can kind of see. But anyway, so I'm doing a request video. Um, this is actually going to be a two-part review. First part of the review is going to be of the Allwin Multicam Set, and the second part of the review is going to be of my TMC JPC. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. That review is also requested, but I was probably going to throw one up anyway, seeing as I get a lot of questions about the quality and the build and how I like it, and if I like it or not. And to tell you the truth, I'm 100% satisfied with it. So let's get started. All right. So stand up. We'll do the top first. This is the Allwin Multicam replica top. It's a replica of the Cry Precision AC combat set of multicam. You get the picture. I bought this entire set for I believe $120 off of RoyalTigerGear.com. I'll post a link in the description below. And as far as replica gear goes, this is probably the nicest, or one of the nicest replicas you can get on the market. I know Toy Soldier is really good, and I can't really do a comparison because I've never owned a Toy Soldier product. But this is by far the nicest replica of anything I've ever owned. I own Emerson and I believe a G uniform as well, and they don't even compare to this in quality. So for 120 shipped, you can get this set off of RoyalTigerGear.com. As far as the pattern goes, when I first got it out of the package, it was a tad darker than regular multicam. It didn't necessarily look like Chinacam. I mean, you can definitely tell when there's, when Chinacam is being used in a kit, because it is flamboyant. But it wasn't that dark, but it was slightly darker than the real thing. Through, I guess, the 6 months that I've had this, through games, pictures, just any bit of wearing it and putting through any form of wear and tear, it has faded out and it looks pretty similar, pretty close to the real stuff. And you can see that in the video. It's pretty damn close to real multicam. As far as texture goes, when I first got it, once again I was a bit skeptical, just because it does feel, it feels rippable. I mean, it's not. It just feels that way. I'm always real skeptical about China products, but it after like I said, the wear and tear that I've put it through, I can tell you 100% that this is not some flimsy ass TMC Emerson, whatever you want to call it, fabric. This is quality fabric right here, and for a China product, I'm very satisfied with it. I would definitely recommend picking up this set. So we'll move on down to the pants. Move this out of the way. Alright, the pants, as you can see, they're the AC replica pants, just like the top. They came in the package. They have pockets right here, on both sides, and they're both accessible, of course. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense. These pockets, they're good for holding things like, I don't know if you guys play with dead man rags. Dead man rags, sometimes, like, if I'm out playing and I needed to, I had my multi-tool out, but I needed to put it away quickly. Instead of putting it back in the pouch, I just throw it in there for the time being. They're handy little pouches for just little knickknacks or whatever that you need to, toss somewhere real quickly that, you just aren't of great importance. They got standard, pockets right here for your hands, and I do utilize these a lot because up in the Pacific Northwest, it's, you know, pretty cold this time of year, and so your hands get cold, and Oakley gloves do a shitty job of keeping your hands warm. Alright, right here, you got your cargo pockets. I actually don't utilize these as much as I probably should. They're, you know, pretty nice. I feel as if I were to put something in here that I wouldn't have to worry about it. These pockets are very nicely put on, and I trust them. You got the same over here. Down here, you got these little boot pockets, I call them. They're kind of like the pockets up here above the knee. They're pretty just handy little pockets for just whatever. I actually haven't utilized these either, but it's the same on both sides. This is one of my favorite features of the bottoms. You can tighten the cuff of the pants around your boot. Some people don't like the look of that, others do. I am one of the people who actually do like the look of that, and not only the look, but the service it provides, because of the fact that when I run my USGI boots or my Merrells, I always have a problem with the laces coming untied. And so, if my laces are contained up in my pants and they can't, you know, get out and nothing can fuck with them, they're good to go, you know. So keeping my laces contained is actually a really big help, and I like those cuff tighteners, whatever you want to call them. Alright, moving on to probably what I'm asked about the most, the stretch material. This stretch material is really good for the China product. I was completely skeptical about it at first. In fact, I do recall going to, like, you know, Walmart and JCPenney, whatever clothing store that you want to name that's not too expensive, a couple times looking for like an Under Armour shirt or some sort of fabric to match this, because I was so sure that it was going to rip. I've had this set for, like I said earlier, like 6 months, and the only rip I've ever had is, get close so you can see it, that one right there, this little hole right here. I've had that for about 3 months, and I've played games constantly, and it hasn't expanded since. I don't know what fabric they used, but it's really good. That hole hasn't expanded since, and I haven't gotten any other holes in it. And let me tell you, these things have received a beating. So if you have any more questions concerning that, just ask me. But I feel that I went over that, got the information out there that was needed to get out there. It's really good. So don't be skeptical like I was. The part securing the knee pad in, they were a little difficult to get in there at first, but with some working and whatnot, you got them in, and they've stayed in there ever since. I was skeptical about the stitching holding the knee pad onto the foam part itself, but I'm not too worried about that anymore because they've stayed on there. And overall, guys, this is a really good set for the price. You can go out and you can spend, however much money a Cry Precision set costs, and don't get me wrong, that's a good buy. If you want to spend the money, Cry Precision is a great buy. But me, if someone offered me like a cheap set of Cry Multicam, I probably could tell you right now that I wouldn't pass it up. Even though I'm known as one of the most, or I'm known as like the replica gear guy, I wouldn't pass it up just because it's Cry and it'd be a cool buy. But I don't buy real gear for a lot of real gear, I should say. I do have a few real pieces for airsoft just because of the fact it is airsoft, and I don't really need it. And this stuff has held up great. So for the money, if you're on a budget and you're still wanting to look cool, definitely pick up a set of these because it's one of the best buys I've made. Alright, moving on to the TMC JPC. Losing shit there, man. Because I don't want to edit this, I'm just kind of like putting it on. So, Alright, so as you all know, this is the TMC JPC. My first impressions of it were the quality of the material itself was a good build, but the thing that I was real skeptical about is the shoulder material. The shoulder material is almost like a compressed leatherish foam, um, just kind of a very odd material, I would say. It's not stretchy, it's not flimsy, it's a pretty solid, like I said, almost compressed leather-esque foam. Um, so when I first got that, I was 100% skeptical, and I was thinking, holy shit, I'm going to have to do some, fish line sewing here. That's how skeptical I was. Um, and it was also very, very light when I first got it. The entire the shoulder straps were light, and the multicam material itself was pretty dark. So it was kind of the same basis as this. It was dark at first, but through months of wear and tear, it's lightened up and looked very similar to the real thing. Um, so when I first got home, I loaded it up and tried it on, played with it for a little bit, and got it adjusted to where I like it. This is adjustable. It's kind of a bitch to adjust, but you can get it. Um, the two parts I was worried about were the shoulder strap material and the flap. The reason why I was worried about the flap is because of my TMC 6094 flap, and both of my 6094s that I've owned has started to rip. It's an easy fix. You can fix it with just about anything. But if I'm gonna pay money for something, I really, really don't desire to fix it. If I'm gonna buy something, I don't want to fix it. So that's kind of my principle when buying things. Anyway, so in case you don't know the story, I believe I said this on Facebook a while back, but I'll just tell it again. I ordered the JPC and ATS replica embedder and 2 TMC tacos from EV Airsoft. The tacos and the embedder shipped first, and the TMC or the JPC didn't ship till I want to say like a week later. Of course, EV Airsoft is slow as fuck, but that's what you get when you pay for no shipping and incredibly cheap prices. So I waited and waited, and the JPC actually arrived here first, and then like 2 days later, the pouches came in. And like I said, I was pretty skeptical about all of this stuff that I got, except for the embedder, because you can't really fuck up an embedder. I mean, it's a pretty solid piece, and this is about the only piece of gear that I was all like, ooh, this is gonna break on me. The tacos, I was like, damn, this is kind of cheap feeling, and the JPC, I already went over that. I was skeptical about the shoulder material, but I can tell you, after owning all of this for, I want to say about 5 months now, after owning all of this for like 5 months, I will tell you that these are some of the best TMC products out there. I have owned a ton of TMC products, as you know. I've gone through 2 6094s, a whole fuck ton of TMC pouches. I have a TMC RRV right here. TMC uniforms, just TMC out the wazoo. And I will tell you right now that this is, out of my experience, the most solidly built TMC product that I've ever owned. Just because of what I've seen it go through and what I've put it through, and it still hasn't ripped, hasn't showed any signs of frays. The flap is still on there very securely. The shoulder strap material is on there very securely. It is put together, and it's a very sturdy, solid build. I picked all this up for, I believe, about 85 bucks altogether. 85, 90, somewhere in that range altogether. So that would be a $60 JPC, 2 tacos, and embedder. 85, 90 bucks right there. And it was one of the best replica gear buys I've put out there, because I am completely impressed with it. And it sure beats, waiting however many months for Cry to ship your stuff, or whatever. Now I'm not, once again, I'm not dishing on Cry. If I had the opportunity to get a discounted Cry JPC, I totally would. You know, I'm not saying that I wouldn't. Real gear is fucking cool, and to the guys who have it, you know, they have some really good looking kits. But you can still have a pretty good looking kit with replica gear. As you can see here, you know, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but this is a pretty good looking kit. And those of you who like my Facebook page, you saw the pictures that I posted up yesterday. It's a pretty good looking kit. So, you can still have a nice kit for cheap price. Now, I'll go over what I'm running on the JPC. I just got the front panel mag pouch. Keep it low profile. You know, I don't need to carry 6+ mags up front. I carry 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mags on my person, or 7 mags on the vest plus 1 on the vest. So I carry 8 mags on my person at all time. That's actually about standard amount for, you know, an assault team member, I guess you could call, because you know what I do. Whatever. It's a standard amount. So 8 mags on my person. So I'm not loaded down with too many mags. You know, 2 tacos. Carry 2 apiece. So I got 2 tacos. Carry 4 on my side. 3 up in the front panel. Got my embedder radio, which is, like I said, pretty solidly built. No complaints about it. It looked really nice out of the package. And then I have a tag IFAK and a tag banger shingle. Some people ask me why I carry my bangers on my back. Well, look at teams like GMR. I'm not trying to replicate GMR. I think they're pretty overrated. But, you know, your bangers are for your buddies. You know, it's not like I'm trying to reach back there and utilize it myself. It's for when you stack up on a door, your buddy can get it out, and you can get yours out of your buddies, and so on and so forth. But I got the American flag and my PTT for my Peltors. It's a pretty lightweight kit, and if I were to run out to the field just rocking what I'm wearing right now, pants, vest, and hat, it'd be a great summer kit because it's lightweight. It's not gonna heat you up. This thing doesn't do too good of a job of holding heat, which is, you know, it's good for summertime, bad for the wintertime. So you're not gonna get overheated. You're gonna be able to move. You're gonna be able to jump because after all, this is a jumpable plate carrier. You know, you're gonna be agile. It's gonna be a good feeling, a good field experience. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe. You know, I'd like to do these reviews a lot more often, so if you guys have anything that you'd like me to review that you've seen in my past videos, you know, feel free to request it because I'm bored on Sundays and I can do this. So I'll give you guys kind of just like a spinny, you know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, any comments or any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And you guys have an enjoyable Sunday.